Hey everybody, this is John from the Lucky Needle, and today what we're going to be talking about is doing a seat repair. As you can see on this seat here, we've got a pretty nasty tear, and today I'm going to be walking you through all the steps that you need to know to fix something like this. First thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove the backrest from the whole seat so we can pull off this cover and get it taken apart so we can sew a new piece in here. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to take off the bolts that are underneath here that are holding on the backrest. And to do that, we're going to have to get this cover out of the way. And there's a little clip that's holding this part together right here. And you just pull that out. See how it's got that? And it goes right in that little hook right there. And that's going to allow you to get up under here so you can get to these two bolts right here. And you just need to slip the little handle through the cover like that to get that out of your way. And then it's got two 13mm bolts right here. You just want to take these off. And get that one right there. So see, we got that side loose now, we just need to get the other side loose. And the other side's a little bit different, so let me flip this around. And you can see if you pull this up right here, there's just that one little Torx bolt right there that you need to take out. You want to make sure this backrest doesn't fall on you when the bolt comes out. Alright, so there, that's taken off, and now you can just set this aside because we're not doing anything with this. Alright, so now we need to get this cover off, and basically when you flip this upside down, you can see one of the many different types of attachment methods there are for a seat cover. This one has these little plastic hooks that are sewn onto the cover, and they just hook around this little piece of metal right here. And to get these off, you just take a screwdriver and you just get it started, and you can just pull it right off. It comes off real easy. So we'll do that all the way around. And that one's already off there. And then we'll get this part off. And then you can flip this up. And you want to sort of just unroll it like that. That's the best way to take these off. And so the next part you can see here, the way they have this cover so that it sucks down in the bolsters here is there's this little spot. This is called listing. and it has hog rings to this piece of metal that's embedded in the foam here, so we need to go ahead and cut those off. And you just do that with a regular pair of cutters. You get in there and just cut the hog rings. All right, now that we got this cover off, we're ready to go ahead and remove this section so we can sew a new piece in. I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, now that we got the cover off, what we want to do is kind of examine how this cover is put together and in what order, because you don't want to just go and start cutting things apart and create a bunch of extra work for yourself. And this is the piece that we're going to be replacing right here, and after looking at it, we got pretty lucky because all we have to do is just unstitch this seam right here till about there, so we can take this out. We'll have to take this piece off as well. But before you go and start cutting the cover apart, what you want to do is give yourself some alignment marks so you can transfer those to the new pieces, and that will allow you to sew this up nice and straight without any wrinkles and stuff when you go to put the new piece in. So just take a nice Sharpie and give yourself a couple marks, you know, every 8 inches or so. And what this is going to do is when you're sewing the new piece back in, you're going to know exactly where you need to start and end, and it's going to work out really good. And you want to do that on all the pieces that you have to take off. All right, and then once you got that done, we're gonna go, and there's a couple different ways you can do this. I like to use just a regular razor blade and just come in here and start cutting the seam out. And you want to be real careful not to cut the welting right here, because if you do, then we're gonna have to unsew the whole thing, and because we can't reuse the welting, we have to unsew the whole thing and put a new piece of welting in there. So I'll do a close-up on how I do this and show you guys how it's done.